What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 163 of Park to Prem here with Town or Town. You join me here at the start of January. The transfer window has swung open. We may well be leaping through it, although we're not really leaping through it. That's an exaggeration. We're looking at doing a little bit of business. We'll talk about that shortly. But before we go any further, it's worth noting Mike Frost has won the Ballon d'Or for a fourth year in a row and his first year at Town or Town. 59 appearances, 42 goals, a 7.41 average rating. That's not too shabby, Mike. That is not too shabby. He has been very, very good for us since he joined the club, and particularly over the last month or so, he really has started to earn his stripes. So anyway, last time you were here, we had Manchester United and Watford. Today, we are going to be doing a little bit of a cup special. We firstly have Chelsea in the FA Cup, and then we're going to follow that up with Liverpool in the EFL Cup semi-final. That does mean that tomorrow you've got Man City and Liverpool to look forward to in the league, something that will inevitably be a huge double header. I'm struggling for my words this morning. If you can't tell by my voice, I'm not sick. It's just another morning recording session, as is usually the way here at Town or Town. So anyway, since you were last here, we have played 7 games in all competitions and 7 wins with 4 clean sheets. Superb stuff. The first of these games was in the Champions League, a competition we were already through. We rotated the team 5-0. Cancino with a hat-trick. You love to see it. Cesar also getting a goal, which, again, you love to see. He has really come on leaps and bounds, the centre-back. The next game we had was against West Bromwich Albion. We won this game 2-0. Shvetsov and Frost with the goals for us in the first half. Good little result, convincing little result. Was a little bit disappointed we couldn't put it beyond doubt, I suppose, in the second half. But ultimately, when you don't concede, you can't lose. And our striking duo of Shvetsov and Frost looking very, very good. The next game we had was the EFL Cup quarter-final against Arsenal. Of course, an Arsenal team that beat us in the league not that long ago. We got a little bit of revenge over on them in this game, although they scored first in this game, Pereiro bundling the ball over the line. However, we started with Cancina and Frost up top in this game, and they were very, very good. Cancina's second goal, the pick of the bunch. And, we fought back to come back away from home, which was lovely to see. Frost with a penalty just before half-time in the 66th minute, as you're just seeing now. Cancina with an incredible effort. The keeper didn't even move. He just watched it go in. To be fair, I don't think he could have saved it even if he had moved for it. In the latter stages, Shvetsov added another misery compiler of a goal, and 4-1 it finished. We're into the semi-finals of the EFL Cup, and suddenly you start to dream of silverware. The next game we had against Norwich, we rotated the team, things, pretty hectic in the schedule, and we got off to the best possible start. Maticevic with a goal in the 15th minute, and well, you'd hope that we could build off that. The ultimate answer was that we couldn't. Mohammed Ali Ben Salem scored for them in the 31st minute. Try saying that name 3 times very, very quickly. And it took us until the 84th minute to rescue the result here. Maticevic lurking at the back post for his second goal of the game, and he came to our rescue. Huge, huge result for us. And it wasn't the first time we won 2-1 in this little run of games, because the very next game, taking on Liverpool in the Premier League, having got a goal down early on, the gauntlet was laid and we had to come back. And Mike Frost, let me tell you, he put on a show. McCord, with a decent little effort from range, really squeezing it into the back of the net. Mike Frost's first goal, just a really tidy finish into the bottom corner. His goal a little bit later, Kaiser winning the ball high up the pitch, pumping it forward to him, but so much to do. Is back to goal, superb first touch, and he tucked it away to make it 2-1. That is what we want to see from Mike Frost. More moments of quality like that. To beat the team in third in the league in that kind of manner was superb. The next game we had was against Sheffield United. Another convincing result. A variety of goal scorers, but Maticevic, Frost and Shvetsov on the score sheet again. And most recently we took on Arsenal for a second time in this run of games, having beaten them 4-1 once. Not quite as convincing this time, but a 2-0 win. A very good result nevertheless. Mike Frost with a goal in the 23rd minute, and then Kaiser getting in the box from a Maticevic set piece. Arsenal didn't deal with it, and he was able to tuck it away for, I think that's his 3rd goal of the year. He doesn't score many, Kaiser. But great to see him get on the goal scoring sheet. Normally takes set pieces, but in recent game weeks, you might have noticed Maticevic, I've just had to start playing him, and actually, the position he's been playing in isn't the position you would expect him to play in, because I've been playing him at centre attacking mid. You can see his average ratings in this position this season have been really, really solid. I think it's probably down to his player traits of gets into the box and moves into the channels. I feel like that is a duo of player traits on a lone centre attacking mid with 20 flair. It really allows him to get forward into dangerous areas. and he has been scoring goals for fun. You can see here he is listed as a world-class player. I'm really starting to believe it. Absolutely superb, and continuing to improve, which again is just really nice to see. An incredibly well-rounded player. 24 years old, one of the best products of our academy, I think it's safe to say at this point. And I don't mean any disrespect to you, Dylan, although you have been out recently with injury. So yeah, that's what's happened since you were last here. A really good run of results in all competitions, in truth. And with it, we have gone top of the league, and comfortably. Which, when you contrast that with how we started the previous episode, is kind of mad. Now, we knew Manchester City were going to have some tricky games in this run of games that they had. You can see here, they played Arsenal, they played Manchester United, they played Everton, they played Liverpool, they played Tottenham. The typical Premier League big boys, I suppose. And they've not been able to get a win, and they've been struggling for goals in a fair few of these matches. So with that in mind, we've been able to capitalise. They're in the process of a board takeover. I mean, it's all kicking off for Man City. They're in meltdown, everyone. But as for us, well, things are fairly stable, all things considering. We have had a bit of an emergence of players complaining about wages and about not being happy. Soretta wants more money. He actually wants £300,000 a week, which is a lot of money to give a centre-back, even in our team, where we have players on very big wages. I don't feel like Soretta is the third best player in our team and so deserves the third best wages. Similarly, another player who's been complaining is Volta. He's been out in nightclubs complaining about a lack of first team football. He's now unhappy that I blocked a move to Juventus when they bid £30 million. He's valued at £50 million, got loads of potential. I don't really want to sell Volta because if we get rid of him, we will fall below the homegrown quota for European competitions at 8 homegrown players in nation. We have got a few players of homegrown in club upcoming, but unfortunately, one of them, Lange, his contract's up at the end of the year and he just doesn't want to sign a new deal, which is a shame because it probably means he's going to leave us. I really wish that I'd done more to give him a new contract sooner, or alternatively look to sell him last summer, but because we needed a bit of backup where he plays and because he was homegrown, I didn't really want to sell him. I was hoping I could make him happy again. It's not worked. He doesn't want to stick around, which is a bit of a shame. It does mean that Dio is the next most likely player to get homegrown at club who, has the potential to be a regular first team player. Unfortunately for Dio, he's a year and a half away from it. So with that in mind, we've got 5 homegrown at club players and 3 in nation. It's also worth noting that Stevie Norman is homegrown in homegrown in nation. So we have him as the backup plan. And to be fair, he's doing so well out on loan at Juventus this year. Whilst I could recall him if we sell Volta, I don't really want to. I feel like that will just stifle his development a little bit. So he's going to stay out on loan. If we sell Volta, I have already got a possible candidate lined up as a replacement. That replacement, if we just have a look at it, is this guy, Cholet. He's a Frenchman. He's unhappy at Porto. He has a £66 million release clause. With Volta, I have already rejected bids of £50 million because I feel I can get a little more for him. But if you compare Cholet with him, if he were to sell Volta for £50 million and bring in Cholet for £66 million, which is his release clause, it's probably worth £16 million for the upgrade he would offer. But anyway, that's a little bit of a transfer dilemma that I've got at the moment. It's not the biggest of problems, to be honest. Ultimately, Volta hasn't played too many games this year. 6 games as a starter. I know he wants to be playing more than that, but I just can't find it for him right now, especially with Maticevic playing as well as he is. You can see here, in terms of average ratings, just a sea of green across the board. Everyone is doing very, very well. And well, let's hope that we can keep that going into today's run of games. This is huge for us. Cup competitions, by the end of today's episode, we could have crashed out of 2 of them. Let's hope that's not going to be the case. And while the first of these games is going to be against Chelsea, in terms of the team we're going to play for this game, I am dropping Shvetsov. Cancina and Frost have been very, very good. Frost won World Player of the Year as well as Ballon d'Or. Cancina won Under 21 Player of the Year in the world, that's FIFA's Under 21 Player of the Year. As a result, I want to play them up top alongside each other and see how they get on. And Maticevic gets the nod. The rest of the team here, kind of what you've come to expect. With Soretta unhappy, I am monitoring the situation because Caesar here, I know he had a bit of a mare previously. He's improving a lot. This guy looks so good for his age. Like, incredibly exciting stuff. I mean, if you just compare him to Soretta here, you can make a pretty strong case that he's better than Soretta at this point. Yes, he's not quite as good defensively. Yes, he's not quite as good in the air. But he's also 2 years his junior. And, he's on significantly less money. And Soretta is kicking up a fuss wanting to become the second highest earner. There is a little part of me that just feels like I might need to get rid of Soretta and just sell him on while I can. Similarly, Andy Eric wants £300,000 a week, which I don't think he's worth. Again, I feel like these players, they're young, ambitious Brazilians, but ultimately the kind of money they're looking for places them in a point in the squad where I am basically labelling them as irreplaceable and indisputable first-team starters. And for both Soretta and Andy Eric, they're both in the realm of, you're good, you probably be world-class in many football teams in the world, but for us, you are a player whom I have other players who could just slot in and just fill the void that you leave if we do have to sell you on. Which is a bit harsh to say. I don't really want to get rid of them, but it's just one of those things where if my hand was forced, if they forced a move, if they weren't happy, I wouldn't, hesitate, I suppose, to just dispatch of them. But anyway, this is the FA Cup here. This is a very early round in the FA Cup, but I felt like with the way these games were lining up, we'd do a double header. It's worth knowing that the EFL Cup game we have against Liverpool is over 2 legs. The second leg, I think, will be done in an episode or two's time when we take on Bayern Munich, who we've been drawn against in the Champions League knockout rounds. Of course, Bayern Munich, a team we're very familiar with in Europe. We've played them, I think, the last 2 times we've been in the Champions League, and while we are going to need a comeback here, because Marcos Antonio Gallegos, how good is he? I mean, he's not a bad little player, is he? The American wing-back. Not a bad little player. He's just put them ahead, smashing it into the bottom corner. Interesting how they did the build-up play here. They switched the play over very quickly, and we were just caught a man short, which is always going to be a bit of an issue with the wing-back formation. We didn't transition particularly well as we shuffled across, as they switched the play quickly. And he was the free man, and to be fair, he's punished us for leaving him as a free man. But anyway, you might be able to tell from my voice. My voice is pretty sore today, folks. I'm feeling the effects of talking a lot, I think. Or maybe it's just the fact I've just woken up. Either way, Cancina, give me something to scream and shout about. Give me a reason to hurt my voice, Kaiser. Inside to Holman. Switches it across to Frost. To Andre. Hits it. What a lovely goal that is. I will say now, Mike Frost, he started slowly. He has really started to put in good numbers. Really, really has. Not only does he score a lot, he's actually turned provider a really decent amount. Lovely build-up play here. Holman switched the play over. Really intelligent ball by the Argentine. Frost, great first touch in the penalty area. Andre, lovely, lovely finish. Love to see that. It's weird, right? We've transitioned through quite a lot of players in recent years. But you look at our team and there is still the likes of Morrigan. There is still the likes of Andre. There is still the likes of Maticevic. Players who were here when we were in the Championship after we got relegated. And that's really cool to see that whilst, we have improved a lot, we have changed the team a lot, ultimately the core of the team remains largely unchanged. Anyway, I'm going to bring in Leskinen here, just because Andre has picked up a little bit of a knock and I don't really want to risk it. As much as I want to win this game here against Chelsea, ultimately, this is the FA Cup. I'm not risking long-term injuries that could jeopardise our league campaign to win this competition. That doesn't mean I don't want to win this competition, everyone, but I feel like we have to pick our fights. And this is a fight where I don't want to aggravate anything. Anyway, Daniel down this right-hand side. Holman wins it. He's got to be a little bit careful, the Argentine, because he is on a booking. Maticevic, huge ball forward to Frost, who is not going to get on the end of that, although with defenders having loose touches like that, maybe he'll get a second chance here. Holman to Maticevic. Have another go at getting it forward. Lovely ball. Frost takes it down on his chest, cuts inside, hits it. Mike Frost, you big boy. You big boy. We have got our money's worth. I was thinking back in January when we took on Liverpool and we beat them 2-1 and Frost got 2 goals. That moment for me was the moment where I was like, yes, this is the player that I thought we were signing. Takes a touchdown on his chest, cuts inside, hits it and just gets it into the bottom corner. Not many players score from that angle in Football Manager. Absolutely lovely stuff by him. 2-1 up, an hour gone. And I feel like the momentum has shifted here in a game where there's been no clear-cut chances and no half chances. I'm saying all this stuff about the momentum switching and then they're bringing the ball forward here. Gallegos, the goal scorer already, crossing it in. Hendrik Bittner, came 3rd place in the Ballon d'Or award. Don't think he was particularly happy about that. Clearly he has something to say about everything that's going on the pitch. It's now 2-2 here. It's all kicking off. And, that momentum that I was just talking about, gone. Got halted. It's hit a concrete wall. Bittner, huge header. What a header that is, to be fair, by Hendrik Bittner. Morrigan has absolutely no chance with that header. An hour gone. I think I'm going to take off Holman. He's on a booking. I don't really want to risk it. McCassie, come on down. Got one last sub in our back pockets, but I kind of just want to hold on to it for now. I love the fact that both both Andre and Holman's media descriptions are world-class midfielders. That makes me feel good about things. Cancina's been very quiet today, so I'm going to take him off and bring in Andrei Shvetsov, who has not been at his best in recent weeks. The good news is that Mike Frost has kind of been able to bail him out, but after his extremely hot start to the year, can he turn hero late on here? Andrei Shvetsov, 5 minutes left of added time. Leskinen, free kick, hits it. Back post, McCassie hits the crossbar or the woodwork. I don't know if it's the post or the crossbar. It was a huge opportunity. 30 seconds left. Bittner stood over it. One last chance for Chelsea. Maybe he hits it. Morrigan holds on to it. Could we launch a counter-attack with 20 seconds left? Or is this game going to... I think this goes straight to penalties, the FA Cup. I'm pretty sure they've ditched FA Cup replays. Although, Mateus Heredia, wake up. Wake up, Mateus. He's fallen asleep. He's fallen asleep. They score Chelsea with what may well end up being the last kick of the game. That's annoying, isn't it? It's a little bit annoying. It's a little bit unfortunate. We have to kind of just go with one last roll of the dice here. I'm trying to work out the best way to shuffle around our team. I think this is probably it. The tactical change can't even happen. And that's heartbreaking. Well, if you were hoping for the quintuple or however many trophies we could win, that's happened. Hendrik Bittner, he came third in the Ballon d'Or award. He is very, very good. I mean, if we just compare him to Frost, because I know you're going to ask to see him next to Frost, like, there's a reason Frost won the competition and Bittner came second. But to be fair, he's turned up when it matters there. Mateus Heredia has let us down massively with an absolute howler. He just fell asleep. He stopped responding. He was like my computer when it runs Skype. Does anyone still use Skype? I don't know. It always used to crash on me. That's why I guess Mateus Heredia reminds me of it. 3-2 it finishes though. We're crashing out of one cup competition, and now this leaves me a little bit nervous for the next competition, because we are now going to be going straight into the EFL Cup first leg against Liverpool, hoping that we can get a result. And well, shall we get into that? Let's jump forward. I'm going to shuffle the team around. We need to rest legs. We've got 4 days to recoup ourselves, regroup. What a disappointing result. What a gut punch. Let's hope we can bounce back. Okay guys, so we are back here for the second game of today's episode. It's against Liverpool in the EFL Cup. Let's hope that we can get a better result than that last one. It's a little bit of a nightmare really, but if we were to win today, we would have a perfectly even record against Liverpool, which is kind of impressive when you think about the fact that we were their whipping boys for the first few years of the save game. Of course, this a competition they knocked us out the final of many a year ago, so looking for a bit of revenge. In terms of the team for today's game, this is the team that started the last game. I am going to make some changes. Soretta is continuing to kick up a fuss about wanting to leave. I'm going to bring in Cesar and give him another chance to show us what he's made of. I know he scored that own goal, but besides that, he has been very, very good for us, this guy. Elsewhere in the team, I'm looking at other players I might want to drop. Mateus Heredia had a bit of a bad game last time out, so you know what? Kevin Deacon is going to come in for this game. I'm holding no mercy whatsoever. And up front, Cancina was quiet, so I'm going to bring in Shvetsov, a player who had a great start to the year, and even when you look at his last 20 games of form, he scored 10 goals and assisted 5. It's not like he's in bad form, but ultimately, we've got him, Cancina and Frost competing for 2 spots in the team. There is, well, a lot of goals between them all, but that also means there's a hell of a lot of competition for places in the team. In fact, when you look at it, they've scored 42 goals between them, the 3 of them, in the first half of this season, which is a little bit crazy, actually. That is way higher than I thought it was until I just checked then. I was not really realising how much they have driven us forward as a trio. I feel a bit bad for Dylan Turnbull because he has now become kind of outright the 4th choice striker. He has had some issues with injuries this year, and I know a few people have gone, well, maybe you should sell him on. But as hopefully you noticed when we were looking at Volta just a second ago, the reality is that I need Dylan Turnbull because he's homegrown at club. It's an incredibly valuable thing. If you don't know the registration rules, basically, in the Champions League and in the Premier League as well, although it's easier to fill the Premier League quota, you need to have 8 players who have trained in your nation that you're based in, so in our case England, and half of those players, so 4 of the 8, have to have trained in the club for 3 years before their 21st birthday. Oh my word, what an incredible goal by Graham Gleed. What an incredible... Oh, well, another fight back is needed, everyone. I'm ready for a scrap. But yeah, homegrown players are very difficult to come by because obviously, as you can maybe appreciate, to have a player who's homegrown in club and spends 3 years at the club before the age of 21 is not so simple, especially because I like to loan players out for development, which makes that even more difficult. So for a player like Volta, a player like Turnbull, being homegrown is really, really valuable at the end of the day. Anyway, Vincent's picked up a little bit of a knock. I'm not going to risk him. I'm going to bring in Nico to play left back for us. This has been a pretty disappointing start to the game, probably worthy of getting shouty. As Kaiser whips the ball, Frost is there and heads narrowly over. Look at these stats in this game so far. They've had 1 shot on goal, on target that is. It was an incredible effort by Gleed. I don't think Morrigan could have done much more. Now we need to fight back. We need to make this dominant show on the scoreline. Nico on off the bench, bringing it forward here. Skips past his man, although he then decides that he wants to take Lazarus, our former man, on for a second time. Oh my word, it's a gift from the blue. And Andrei Shvetsov says, thank you, Liverpool. 1-1, giving away the ball horrifically. I don't know if that's the fault of the keeper or the player who played the pass back here. I mean, it's a shocking back pass. The keeper probably could have got there, but I'm not going to complain one little bit. Shvetsov up to 19 for the season, continues to pull away as our outright goal scorer, and well, we've just been given a gift to get back into this game. Liverpool with the ball at the back. Fletcher trying to switch the play. Now with Wesley. Given away to Shvetsov here, who gives it to Mike Frost. What can we do here? Frost. Just score it, mate. Just score it. Why not? What an insane goal that is by him. £300 million, they said. You're crazy, they said. I mean, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Look how good he is here. Absolutely insane stuff. Great run. Lovely finish at the end of it as well. Tucking it into that bottom corner. And it's been goals galore in today's episode in these matches, hasn't it? Goals galore. We look very, very good. Very, very good. They've had just 1 shot and it's ended up in the back of the net. Let's hope that we can continue on our merry way here. Matasevic, let's get another. Make it more comfortable. Holman, big ball forward, an ambitious ball forward. Couldn't pick out his man, unfortunately. Liverpool, though, trying to work the ball out from the back here. Bandowski with it. Tackle by Deacon. Brought into the team in replacement of Aurelio. Does not look out of place right now, does he, on that right-hand side? 3 players swarming around the Liverpool ball, trying to force a turnover in possession. To be fair, they've played out of the press quite well, but Nico reads it, lumps it forward. Shvetsov, can you score it, my friend? I mean, as if there was a question to be answered. What a finish. 20th goal of the season for Shvetsov. It is the Shvetsov and Frost show today. Everything they touch turns to gold. Every half chance they have turns to gold. The ball by Nico there, by the way, absolutely incredible. To intercept it and just to hit it on the volley. Coming on for Vincent, given an opportunity, and he's taken it. Wow, what an incredible turnaround in that first half. Some beautiful finishing on display, and there's not a lot else I can say other than well played, boys. I'm very, very happy. Frost with 1 goal, Shvetsov with 2 goals and an assist. Can we build off this further in the remainder of this half? That is the new question. Cesar bringing it forward. Beautiful ball to Deacon, who hits it, unfortunately, straight at the keeper. Lovely build-up play, though, by Caesar from centre-back there to actually get the ball forward. He's pretty good with his passing, the Colombian. I do feel like maybe he is the replacement to Soretta. Maybe he is the man to fill the boots that the Brazilian could leave. What is happening in this game? Is there something in the air? Is there something in the air? Morrigan beaten at the near post, which is disappointing, but I am going to look at one man and one man only, and I think we all know the man I'm going to look at. Markovski, I mean, just dwells on the ball for too long. I feel like Morrigan is out of position because he's gone to offer Markovski a pass that he's just not taken. And I mean, no one can complain about boring matches this episode. There has been goals here, there and everywhere. I'm hoping there is not the same late drama there was against Chelsea. Of course, this is only the first leg. The second leg coming your way in a little while. It must be said, but an exciting prospect off the basis of this. Going to bring in Andy Eric for Matasevic, who has been a little quiet in today's game, unfortunately. But to be honest, I'm largely happy with how this game's gone in terms of performance. It's just the scoreline doesn't really reflect the dominance that we've had. Could it reflect it now? Kaiser in, Frost headers it in. Keeper can't contain it. Frost with 2, Shvetsov with 2. With 10 minutes left, they're going to be battling over the match ball here. Who is going to run away with it? I really couldn't tell you at this moment in time. Really nice goal, though. Huge header by Frost. Maybe the keeper could have done a little bit better, but it was a really powerful header. Goalwards, and, well, he just couldn't get a strong enough hand on it to stop it going in. Bandowski now with the ball. What's he going to do with it? Back to goal, running away from goal, gives it to Fletcher. Now with Warnock. Hits it, hits the woodwork, my word. We are let off the hook. Deacon on this right side. There's more chances, it's not over yet. Don't take your seat. Well, what's the opposite of taking your seat? Don't leave your seat, don't leave the ground early. It's not over here. Parkinson lumping the ball forward for Liverpool. Cesar gets a lovely header. Unfortunately, Kaiser not able to get onto the second ball. Now Nuhu cutting inside Markovski. Huge tackle by him. What a recovery that is. I will forgive you for the previous screw-up with that tackle. But now can we launch a counter? Shvetsov bringing it forward. Frost in the middle. I mean, Miete is going to be sent off here. Liverpool down a man. Just a cynical second yellow, stopping the breakaway. And you know what? I'm going in for the kill, everyone. We're going in for the kill. Doing it for the thrill. Dylan Turnbull. Actually, no. I'm not bringing in Dylan Turnbull. I'm going to bring in Cancina. I'm going to move Shvetsov out onto the right wing. And we're going to play Frost, Cancina, on Andy Eric on the left, Shvetsov on the right. And we're going to go to the 4-4-2. For 5 minutes, just try and turn up the pressure. Crank it up. Potentially make that extra man show. That's the aim here. Although there isn't a great deal of time to make that happen. And well, the time is just going to fizzle away. 4-2, though, a really good first leg result against the Liverpool team, who are going strong in the league. They are a good team. That does make me feel very, very good, warm and fuzzy inside. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. Vincent out with a short-term injury. It could have been a lot worse. Shvetsov, given the Man of the Match award, give him a little bit of praise. Superb, my friend, in front of goal. Norman scoring 2 goals for Juventus as well. You love to see it. And, well, in the cup competitions, whilst the FA Cup is disappointing, it does look like now we have one foot in the final of the Carabao Cup. As I mentioned before, we've got the Champions League against Bayern Munich to look forward to, although that's not for a little while. Unfortunately for us, we have Manchester City to play here, as you can see, but our game against Liverpool that we were meant to play has been pushed back. So with that in mind, what I think we'll do next episode is a double header of Manchester City in the league. Then we'll do the Burnley and Coventry games off screen and come back for Liverpool at the end of the month to wrap up the month of January with the EFL Cup semi-final conclusion. I feel like that feels like the right thing to do at this moment in time. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I apologise for how awful I sound. My voice is getting pretty sore. Maybe I should have a day or two of rest further. But no, we had a day off yesterday. I want to come back. I want to be giving you guys this entertainment on the regular. I think these 2 matches were entertaining. That Chelsea game is bitterly disappointing, but they are an extremely good side. I mean, to beat Liverpool is not a small result by any means, because as you can see here, they are only 1 point behind Manchester City in the league. They're good. They're good, but we've beaten them, and we hopefully are now going to march towards a second successive Premier League title. That certainly feels like it's on the cards at this moment in time. But anyway, that is all from me today. Hopefully you've enjoyed. I'll see you again tomorrow. And it's me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.